Hey guys, Krista here, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most common business objections ever. Yes, that's right. Clients are telling you, sorry, but you're too expensive. Have you ever heard that? Well, especially as a new business owner, setting your rates can be a bit daunting. So I have 5 tips today to do it the right way so that you'll know exactly what to say if that does happen to you. Number 1 is to make sure that you are setting your rates in a fair market range, especially when you're starting out. So just because you heard that someone else charges $10,000 doesn't mean that you should automatically base your pricing on some very limited knowledge. Instead, do your research, shop around yourself, and find out what are the standard business rates for the service you're offering, and base it on your demographic, base it on the income range of your ideal customer, how much value you're providing to them, and just be a little bit competitive so that you start off by getting a lot of yeses, because if the people go somewhere else, they're going to find the prices for someone in your area are pretty competitive. All right? That's number 1. Number 2 is you gotta focus always on the value aspect of whatever you are offering. So forget being an employee with hourly rates or salaries. Don't ever compare what you're offering now as a business owner to what you would have made in your old job. So what you're gonna do instead is you're going to focus on what is that service giving to the customer. How are you saving them time and money? And most importantly, how are you improving their lives significantly by this service? And you also want to factor in that case, your expertise, because people are paying for the seniority level of the service as well. So if you've been doing something for 10 years, you're going to do it well and you're going to do it fast versus, they might find someone 10 times cheaper, but it's not going to be at all the same smooth process with the results that you're going to give them. So you got to learn to really focus on your value. Number 3, you have to get over any kind of problems like with mindset, with money. Some people feel really uncomfortable like charging money, and you've got to get past that if you're going to make money in your business. You don't want to treat people with lack of integrity or somehow pressure them into buying your product or service, but by all means, don't feel guilty for charging fair rates. That's business and you're giving them something. So I see this all the time, and I think that there's a lot to be said about working on a money mindset and getting comfortable with making money. Number 4, going back to your sales skills. This is not a given for many people. I know tons of business owners who start a business and they're really good at what they do, but selling is not their forte. And that's where we're going to have to focus all of our efforts, because you will not get customers unless you learn to close. You can talk until you're blue in the face. You can go and have free calls and free meetings with people. But if you don't know how to close a deal, you're going to be missing out on so much business opportunity. So you need to ramp up on your closing skills, and that includes negotiation, persuasion, presentation, clarity in what you offer, and role playing about handling objections like what we're doing now when someone says it's too expensive. Figuring out, well, no, I offer tons of value, so how much is that worth to you? That would be a comeback for that. So that's what I mean by closing skills. And lastly but not least, I think you have to figure out in your business how to get the right kind of customer, okay? Because honestly, you don't want someone to come in and say, it's too expensive, when really it is too expensive for them. So you always want to make sure that you're in the target range of your ideal customer. And if you say, well, I love these people, I really want to help them, and exactly they really don't have the money, then you're not in business, you're running a nonprofit, or you're doing some volunteer work, okay? So you got to know the difference. You got to focus on helping people who can actually pay for that service. And if you need help, you should download the avatar worksheet that I'll put in the chat link, because having an avatar worksheet is super, super helpful for defining your ideal client. And remember, one of the things of your ideal client is their income. So if they're able to make a certain amount of income, you have to think, okay, well, they can pay this money. And yes, sometimes, depending on what you're offering, it may be an investment for them. So they may have to take the money out and like invest it in you, in the service, but that's okay. So you do the math and you say, yes, they could afford this, or no, they couldn't. And if the answer is no, they couldn't, you need to change your target audience. So that's all I can say, guys. Those are my tips for today. I hope this was helpful. And you know where to find me. I'd really appreciate a like or subscribe to my channel so that you can continue getting these awesome videos. And you can follow my hashtag on most social media channels, which is the Sassy Method. Have a great day and go out there and make some sales.